Punisher got a serious upgrade, more damage, bigger magazine, and tighter accuracy, and in this guide, I'm going to break down everything that you need to know. How these changes impact his gameplay, there's some range breakpoints, and a deep dive into his damage numbers. There's going to be a lot of numbers in here. I think there's a lot in here that most haven't talked about. He's also the anchor of a new team up. He gets 5% more damage and 25 more health, bringing his total health to 300. Just great updates to him. And my goal with these guides is very simple. No matter your skill level, you can walk away and become a better player, fully armed with knowledge to master the character. So let's jump right into his primary weapon, which just got a good buff. Adjudication, his automatic rifle. Now, the recent buff made 3 key improvements. 1, the magazine size increased from 30 to 40 rounds. That means you can outfire longer before needing to reload, giving more sustained pressure, more DPS. 2, the damage per bullet went up from 18 to 19. It may seem small, but it's an extra point of damage. It adds up quickly over time because we're now adding in the 5% more damage on top. And 3, spread while firing has been slightly reduced. So this means your shots are more accurate, especially during sustained fire, making it a lot easier to land hits. So let's talk about how these buffs affect Punisher's time to kill, how damage fall-off impacts him at different ranges. At close range, 20 meters and in, he deals max damage. So before the buff, he dealt 18 to the body, 36 to the head, because a crit in Marvel Rivals is double damage. With this buff, it goes from 18 to 19.95 to the body, and 36 to 39.9 on the crit. So at this range, he can kill a 250 health point target in 1.2 seconds to the body, 0.6 seconds to the head, and his rifle shoots at 600 RPM. Now at mid-range, around 30 meters, he starts getting into fall-off. About 85% of max damage, so body shots are roughly 17 damage, headshots about 34, so the TTK for a 250 health point hero, more closer to 1.4 seconds to the body, 0.7 seconds to the head. Now beyond 40 meters, which you're going to get a lot of that, there's a lot of flyers in the game, the damage caps out at 70% of base, so body shots are about 14 damage, headshots about 28, and that slows the TTK down to the body to 1.7 seconds, 0.8 to the head if you land all headshots. But Punisher shines in close to mid-range fights, where his damage and accuracy can be dominant. But here's the key thing. We need to zoom out and look at the big picture. If you take anything from this video, it is this, the most important part of the guide. Yes, he got a little bit of a damage buff. The time to kill is about 0.1 to 0.2 seconds faster, which is great. And I made a little graph that you can look at. Like, this is awesome. But that's not the full story. Punisher is a poke hero. His strength comes from sustained damage, and that means DPS, and magazine size matter more than just the burst kills and the burst damage. We know that Punisher shoots 10 rounds a second, so before the buff, each shot dealt 18 to the body, had a 30-round magazine, that gives him 180 DPS to the body, 360 to the head. And across the magazine, just body shots, 540 total damage. But now, the body shot's 19.95, he has 40 rounds. That gives him 199.5 DPS to the body, 399 to the head, and 798 total damage per magazine. That's an 11% increase to his damage per second and a 47% boost to how much damage he can dish out before reloading, from 540 to 798. Like now, Penny, Strange, Magneto, Vanguards. Punisher can one-clip them with just body shots, no headshots even considered. This is the actual change to Punisher, the DPS and total damage from the magazine. It's not just, hey, the auto rifle got 1 point of damage from 18 to 19. Hey, he got a measly 5% overall damage buff. No. In fights, it means longer uptime, more pressure, way more of a threat in mid-range duels. Even at far ranges, his DPS is just way better. And with so many flying and mobile heroes in the meta, the extra accuracy, the 10 extra rounds from the magazine, it lets Punisher stay in the fight longer and finish what he starts. It made him so much better than people realize. So when all else fails, what you need to do is just track your enemies the best that you can. That's the most important thing that you can do now. Land a steady stream of bullets, even if it's just body shots. 40 rounds, 11% increase to his damage per second, 47% boost across the magazine. It's a big deal. Now let's talk about Punisher's secondary, Deliverance. This is his shotgun. It's a burst damage tool that hits instantly and can delete targets at close range, especially with this recent 5% damage buff. The base damage per pellet was 10, but with the buff it becomes 10.5. It fires 14 pellets per shot, so a perfect body shot now deals 147. It fires 1.43 shots a second. It holds 8 shells before reloading. As we know, headshots deal double damage. So each pellet can crit for 21, giving a 294 burst shot. If you land all 14 pellets to the head, you need to be right on the enemy, but it can be done, and it can one-shot squishies. Damage falloff starts at 8 meters and drops to 40% by 15 meters. So at max range, each pellet's only dealing 4.2 damage, brings the full shot down to only 58.8, so it's got huge drop-off. You only want to use it up close. Obviously, it's a shotgun. On top of that, the spread radius is 0.6 meters at 10 meters. So again, unless you're like right on top of them, you're not going to land full damage consistently. But this is your close range, get it done tool. If you get close and you're accurate, it can instantly flip a fight. It can one-shot 275 heroes if you're right on top of them. If not, at least two-shot them. It's also your main tank buster. Maybe a Groot, a Penny, a Venom, a Cap. They get close. You will make them back off. Massive chunk damage. This is also your main peel tool. If supports need help from a Black Panther, a Spider-Man, or there's diving tanks, you use this shotgun. This is also your defense if you get dove. It's an extremely useful and versatile tool that you're going to use frequently as the situations come up. Next is Punisher's E ability, the Culling Turret. It deploys a turret that grounds Punisher and blocks incoming damage from the front while firing rapid shots at enemies. So the turret shoots 12.6 damage per bullet at 12.5 rounds a second with a total ammo pool of 200. It also deals explosion damage in a 3-meter radius around the target, dealing 12.6 damage per round on impact, and that also gets added in. Both the explosive damage and the actual bullet damage get that 5%. And as we talked about, it's more so about DPS. The turret's accuracy improves over time as you fire it. You're at max accuracy after 20 shots. At that point, it'll be 0.05 meters. So those last 180 rounds are very, very accurate if you've been holding down the trigger the whole time. The turret has 600 health. It's on a 20-second cooldown. Note the animation of going into the turret or just in the turret itself. You can't be CC'd. You cannot be stunned. So a Jeff ult or other stuns come up, you can do this. This thing is great for zoning and just adding constant pressure in fights while keeping Punisher protected. I mean, of course, Emma Invisible Woman can also put up a shield. You have 600 health from the turret, then those extra shields. But you're going to shoot this thing, 200 rounds of it, chunking and even creating space. That's another thing that this does very well. You're going to force them to back off, get shredded, or take you out of the turret. It's another extremely useful, powerful tool that Punisher has. Next is Punisher's Scourge Grenade. It's another versatile tool for both offense and defense. It's your right click. You throw it forward, creates a smoke screen. It blocks enemies' vision within a 5-meter radius. It travels in an arc at 40 meters a second. It also deals 45 damage on impact, which can actually get downs. But when you use this grenade, it also makes Punisher leap backwards 9 meters, helping him create space or escape danger. It has a quick 8-second cooldown, so you use it frequently, and it's perfect for disrupting enemy sightlines and repositioning yourself safely. It's great for when you get dove. As soon as they come in, throw a smoke screen at your feet. This blocks their vision, and it might just knock you up out of the dive. It's also really good for when your turret gets broke, because sometimes either you're up far away or even in a mid lane, you were stationary, and as soon as it's broke, create a little ninja vanish at your feet and get popped any direction that you want. Back left, back right. It's always good practice to use this smoke after your turret breaks, but it could be paired with the zip line to slow yourself down or go further. You can get to high ground without using your zip line, but the zip line itself is his main mobility tool. It's Vantage Connection. It's shift, you launch a hook, creates a cable, you grab onto, you hold F, and then you go along that cable at 25 meters a second. So this is momentum. The cable can attach between 5 and 35 meters. Now there is a little angle range, 20 degrees, and go up or down, so you can't just shoot it straight to the floor while you're standing on it. But the zipline is going to help you reposition very quickly in fights, close gaps, get to high ground, get to mid faster, helps you retreat safer. It has a 20-second cooldown, and it stays up off of spawn, so you can create a zip, get there faster, while you're mid-zip, since you're flying. When you jump off of it, all that momentum carries, you can go even further. And it's one of those things, if you zip into a fight, as soon as you land, you can hit that smoke grenade. Slow yourself down or just get popped into a different direction. And overall, this ability is great mobility for a character who just thrives on controlling mid-range space. Get up to high ground, get somewhere to put up a turret, get overwhelmed, you can get away. There's a lot of uses. His passive is Warrior's Gaze. It's a great passive. Lets you retain vision of enemies that disappear from your line of sight for a short time, so it works in a 30-meter radius around you. The effect lasts for 3 seconds. You can see them through walls. It gives you valuable intel on what the enemy's trying to do, their movements. They try to hide or escape, and sometimes you'll see a Spider-Man get on a wall above you, or if you get someone low, you know if they're running or just maybe staying at the corner and 3-peeking you. It helps you track opponents and keep up pressure and help callouts for your team. It makes it a little bit harder for enemies to reset or flank if they've been seen, because for 3 seconds you see what they're doing. And the passive just works perfectly with the smoke screen. Since they're out of sight, because the smoke's in the way, you can still see through that. It's perfect synergy. Again, especially if you get dove. Punisher's ultimate is Final Judgment. It's now even deadlier with the 5% damage buff, because remember, it's all about DPS with Punisher. And this also got a buff that reduced the movement slow rate of Final Judgment from 20% to 10% when not firing, and from 40% to 30% when firing, so he is quicker than before. His Gatling guns now deal 8.4 damage per bullet, firing at 33.3 rounds per second, so roughly 280 DPS. It's unlimited ammo in the 10-second duration of the ultimate, so you just hold down the button and keep firing. A lot don't realize, but he also has shoulder missiles. Now, these just fire and auto-track anything that's on your screen. He has 8 total missiles that go off in his ult. It does really good damage. And now they hit a little bit harder too. Each hit for 52.5 damage, firing about 2.67 missiles a second, so that's another 140 DPS. Altogether, Punisher deals around 420 DPS during his ultimate. It's a huge burst of sustained damage. And keep in mind, damage falloff is applied at longer ranges, so staying mid-range is key to maximizing the DPS and overall lethality of it. But it's an absolutely terrifying ult. It can take out Storm and Jeff NATO, and drop squishies, a lot of characters with the snap of a finger, even tanks. And it's another reason why Magneto is still seen as such a good option in Marvel Rivals, because he can shut this right down the moment that you pop it. So look out for Magneto. And just like the turret, while you're in this ultimate, you can't be CC'd, you cannot be stunned. But this thing wins team fights, or at least delete key enemies on the other team. Say you know that their support's about to have their ultimate, you can try to take them out, send them right back to spawn. Operation Microchip is the team up with Black Widow. He's the anchor, getting the 5% more damage and the 25 health. Now on Widow's part, I went in depth in a previous video. It's S tier to me. It is so good. There's a trick that you can do to spam down targets. And what's nice about these two together, just in general, Punisher, Black Widow, we went over the DPS of Punisher, of how well he does. Now Widow has big chunk damage, 120 to the body, 240 to the head. A Widow lands a shot on an enemy that Punisher's shooting at, it's just massive damage. You're gonna delete them. They melt things together. It's a great team up. Now, let's break down how to maximize the Punisher playstyle, especially with this new DPS boost that makes him a more serious threat. He is a mid-range poke specialist. He thrives on sustained damage output. So in this flyer meta, he's a great answer. With the primary weapon and just the overall damage buff, his damage per second is up by 11%, but the real kicker is the magazine. It goes from 30 to 40, combined with the more damage, the more rounds, it pushes his total damage per mag from 540 to 798, a massive 47% increase. That's not just a minor tweak. It fundamentally changes how much you can pressure your opponents. It's very good. So his core strength lies with high sustained DPS, but also he's really good at controlling space with the Culling Turret. It allows him to oversee fights, massive sustained damage that forces, again, they have to back off or they're going to get shredded, so that means they need to focus him to get him out of the turret or wait for the bullets to end. And in that time, hopefully you made space for your tanks so they can create more. Once they have, you get down with your rifle, your enhanced DPS. Punisher can start shredding health bars faster than before, especially in these extended engagements. He's so good. You have mobility with the zipline, lets you position aggressively, retreat safely, and at any time you have this shotgun, it's reliable burst damage to finish off key targets. Now, he's not the best, but more than serviceable to be appeal for supports. He's actually, I think, good at it. He has the tools, he has the smoke grenade, he has the shotgun. Even the turret. If you see that your strategists are getting dove by a Spider-Man, all pressure from that turret can go to them getting dove. He can do it. But the key to playing Punisher well is staying in his optimal damage window, roughly 20 to 30 meters, ideally 20 and in, but with this damage buff, 20 to 30 is fine. Outside of that, you start feeling the damage drop off, but with the 40 round mag, it's okay. You're not always going to be 20 to 30, but in the end, your positioning and map awareness is crucial. He's really good at being on off angles as well. A lot of the times you're going to be doing that with a turret, but even now, because of what his rifle's doing with the 40 rounds, he excels at off angles. And in practical terms, putting it all together, what it means is you're now looking at a near 200 DPS with your rifle alone. That's just body shots. It adds up so quickly. You start throwing in some headshots, even better. It is serious sustained pressure that few heroes can match. Play smart, control the battlefield, and this new DPS that he has, like, you can consistently get enemies low or finish them off in mid-range. It's that good. And again, when all else fails, just track the best and as long as you can on an enemy. That's how they made him now. You did it before, but now it's really his identity. The DPS went way up with this buff. So he is a lot better. He has more health, tighter accuracy, more rounds, higher DPS, more sustained pressure. One of the most efficient mid-range damage dealers in the game because of all this. So learn the spacing, master the timings, you'll always control the fight. If you get dove, you have the zip, you have the shotgun, you have the smoke grenade, and a whole lot of damage. If you're new here, remember to hit the subscribe button, and if you are subscribed, thank you so much for your support. Let's talk about Punisher down below. What are your thoughts? And of course, add any tips that you have. Help each other out. Thank you for watching, and until the next one, I am CoolGuy.